Let's try that. Can you hear us now? Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us now. See, all right. So we'll start over here. See, Bubba Pitts says he's got the popcorn ready. I ain't got any honey buns with me, Bubba. So we're out of luck there. I thought you might have a honey bun, Bubba. Okay. Everybody says they can hear us now. We got Mr. Alan Winters in here with us. I've talked to him on the telephone before. I hope you got your 9400 straightened out. Brian Brock, the man that told me about the greatest invention ever for a 9400 combine, and that's the LED lights. Um, Robert, we have got to work on this light. Turn that light off behind you and see what it does.
Better or worse?
Turn it back on. All right, now put your head. Put the lamp down. No, the shade.
Like that?
Yeah, totally. Maybe. I don't know. Y'all just gonna have to deal with the y'all just gonna have to deal with the bad lights. We got Greg Rhodes with us. How are you tonight, Greg? All right, guys. So we got 24 people in here, so there shouldn't be any lack of conversation tonight. Want to welcome you to the End of Harvest LiveStream. This is kind of becoming a annual event. We normally do it. I guess this would be what you consider our season finale. That's what I've been calling it, anyways. We've got all the crop out, so we got the crop season wound up. So we'll just call it the end of season finale. But I'm glad you could join us here. And when we complete the year, because there may be some new and exciting things coming to the channel before the end of the year. I don't know yet. It depends on if I can find what I'm looking for. But when we get the year completed, we'll have right after the first of the year, we'll have a look back at 2022 live stream like we done last year. Everybody seemed to enjoy that, so we'll have that. Got Mr. Gordon Bright with us here. Glad to have Gordon with us. Matt said he was talking to me about the turbo till. Yep. That is a tool I hope to have someday, but I've got other things in the budget I need worse than a turbo till right now. I got more things I want than my budget allows. So you kind of got to pick what you kind of got to pick your battles, or you got to you got to prioritize, I guess, is what I was trying to say. So, all right, Robert, tell them whatever you want to tell them.
Brantley wanted to know how our Thanksgiving went. It went pretty good. Ate too much, and we ate on leftovers for about 2 days now, so ready for something different.
I've only ate leftovers once. I cooked the ham on my new pit boss there, and I got some of it Thanksgiving Day, and I come back from yesterday. I was at the gas station at lunchtime, so I got a fish plate, and I text him today. I was like, "Hey, is any of my ham left?" And I come over here to eat some of my ham, and I basically had a gnaw on the bone. That was about all that was left. So apparently, it was apparently the ham was pretty good. James Kelly says he knows what I mean. His list of wants are long. All right, Robert. To answer Brian's, say what was your best and worst harvest moment?
I guess the best was when we got done, and there was actually some money at the end of it. On my part, I was actually able to pay my bills. And the worst part is, I was shelling corn over there and started smelling smoke, and the bearings went out on. I guess it went out on that variable speed feeder house. It got pretty hot. that slowed your header up and down. Yeah, so that was my worst part because I didn't. I was over there by myself and I didn't know what I was gonna do if that sun gun caught on fire.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I kind of have a tendency to repress bad memories. Uh, say my best harvest moment. Does wheat harvest count? Because we had an awesome wheat harvest. We had the best wheat crop I've ever grown. Uh, had a really, really, really good wheat crop. So if that counts as harvest, I count that in there. And the worst moment was we put the wobble box on there, and that wasn't too bad. I mean, hated losing the day, but the next day when we had run that thing over about 30 acres, and it broke the bolts in the knife head, I about lost my crap. Matter of fact, we got in the truck that afternoon and went to Tennessee Tractor and looked at some combines and headers that afternoon. But as y'all can see, we got it straightened out. We did not buy a combine and we did not buy a header. But that was my worst moments that day after we replaced the wobble box and broke the freaking bolts in the knife head. I was not very happy that day.
What are we going to replace the Patriot with? A deer.
Robert says the deer. I say the best deal.
Are we looking for any equipment besides a sprayer?
Yeah, soybean header.
Yeah, bean header. And what's the worst piece of equipment y'all had on your farms ever since you started farming?
The worst piece? Well, our old sprayer, it's a really good sprayer. It's just it's gotten to be a little undersized for the acres we're having to push it over lots of acres now, or lots of acres for the size of the machine. So, worst piece of equipment.
None of them been bad, I guess.
I'd say that international field cultivator we bought that time that had them Danish tines on it.
Well, I forgot about the John Deere field cultivator the first time you went to fold it up.
And the wing fell off of it. Yeah, I bought a John Deere field cultivator one time at an auction for $5. All right, here's a great story. I bought an old John Deere field cultivator at an auction one time. I paid $500 for it. It was 3-point hitch and it folded up. I believe it was a 1010 was the model. Very first time I went to I fold it up to bring it home and the wing broke. No, anyways, the wing broke plumb off the thing.
Yeah.
So I took it. It had cast iron hinges. So I just took the cast iron hinges up and bolted it up solid. And I mean, it done a pretty good job for it. Where I ran it the most was when we used to run the V-Ripper. I would run it behind the V-Ripper in the fall to kind of smooth the ground up. And it would kind of leave it humped a little bit. And it made the ground dry really well in the spring. We're going to have to get caught up. But I traded that field cultivator to a buddy for something. And then he traded it back to me for something, and I never did even go pick it up. And then we swapped again. I owned that field cultivator like 3 times, and finally, the last time it was in my possession, I went, picked it up, and took it back to the same auction I bought it at, and it brought $750. I traded it for stuff 3 times and made $250 on it. You can't always do that on equipment trading, but I've been fairly lucky on equipment trading. Greg says your sprayer would look good up here in Middle Tennessee. Well, I think you're out of luck. If the boy comes, he's a good guy. He's a good boy. He's a viewer of the channel. He's trying to get started farming, and I don't know if he's with us here tonight. His name is also Dylan, but it should be going to Southern Illinois, leaving Monday morning to go to Southern Illinois, right on the other side of Paducah, Kentucky. So we will say good. We're going to have a video, hopefully, of it leaving the farm. I already got the title in mind. It's Goodbye, Old Friend. It's the title of the video. So He's supposed to bring me a cashier's check Monday morning. I've done pulled all the loose parts off the part sprayer and got them stacked up, waiting for him. He's supposed to bring a gooseneck. I'm gonna put all the parts off the part sprayer, and I think he's got a detached trailer coming to pick the sprayer up, and he's gonna bring me a cashier's check. So it's the Patriots off to new and better things. Like I said, he's trying to get started, and I think he works 160 acres now, so that is more than enough machine to take care of that, and the Patriot will have a little easier life next year. Got the Butterbean farmer with us. He's a regular. Glad to have you. Got David Dixon. He's a regular. He says smelling smoke is not a good sign on the combine. No, it's not. And bubbling batteries are also not good on combines. We'll have more about that in an upcoming episode that I think y'all will really like. It's something out of the ordinary from our channel. So that'll give y'all something to look forward to. Got Harlan with us tonight. I had the pleasure of meeting Harlan at the Mile and No-Till Field Day this year. He watches our channel, and he interned at Greenpoint Ag, and as y'all know, we do a lot of business at Greenpoint Ag, so it was good to meet Harlan. Brian said that 3 years ago they blew both wobble boxes in the heads. I hope next year maybe whatever header I have, I'm hoping don't have a wobble box on it. We actually found a 25-foot draper, but it was set up to fit on a gleaner. And by the time we found out about the adapter situation, which we never did find an adapter, the header sold. So they looked at me like a deer in the headlights, asking him about those adapters. They're like, well, that header's just so old. It's a 2006 model. Well, I mean, I guess it's 16 years old, but according to the equipment I run, this would be one of the newer things on our farm. But I talked to another viewer of the channel that runs a 2052, which is the equivalent of the header we looked at, just in the case paint, and he told me what I needed to do. So next time we find one, we'll be ready. Bubba's Pet said we know one of his bad moments of the year. Yeah, Bubba had some bad luck this year. Hey, Bubba, I don't know if you heard me earlier. The sound might have been off, but when you was talking about the popcorn, I said it's a good thing you got the popcorn because we didn't have any honey buns with us. So that's kind of an inside joke. Which, if some of y'all watch Dion Wade's channel, you'll know what that joke's about too. Levi says, what kind of bean header I seen on Big Irons for some? I would really like to put a little 25-foot draper on our combine, but they are hard to find. And I'm not really ready to update combines yet. What we'll probably end up doing, as bad as I hate to say it, is we'll probably end up buying a 622 and converting it over to fit on our combine. We'll have to buy a head sight box, which lets the older headers talk to our combine. Yeah, lets the newer header talk to our combine. And of course, you got the 600 series or Hydroflex, so you can dial up the pressure on it, and that helps with the floating on the ground and helps to keep from pushing straw up when you're cutting. Everything I've read is for the 600 series is twice as good as a 900 series cutting platform. Everything I've read, so that's probably going to be our best route. As bad as I want a draper header, is just converting a 600 series header to go on our combine. I know I'm not pushing. I ain't gonna say I won't, but I really, really, really don't want to push that old junk 922 again. All right, Robert.
Jamie says, I know you love your 46s, but I think it's time you upgrade some 8,000 series. You will pay for it in just the fuel you will save.
No, I don't think so.
They'd be nice, but we need something worse than the tractor. Our tractors, knock on wood, they hardly ever let us down. Check it.
Yeah, I know 8,000 series tractor would be nice, but you ain't gonna beat them 4640s and 4650s we got as far as reliability and performance. And I've run 8,000 series tractors before, and I don't think we're gonna save any fuel. Front wheel assist would be nice, but we're a mostly no-till farm, so there's very rarely do we need front wheel assist.
Says check out D-Wet Equipment in Soxham. Hope you can find a 40. Well, just talk if you can.
Well,
you talk.
Well, you could tell them about the behind the scenes of D-Wet over there.
Well, he's got. Bad thing about D-Wet is he does a bunch of auctions around here, and whatever doesn't sell at the auction, he brings out on the lot. He puts out on his lot, and some of that stuff sits out there forever. And y'all ain't seen the back of the D-Wet stuff because there's some
ragged stuff I bring in and fix up and put out there on the front lot. It looks a lot better out there on the front lot than what's behind the lot. If y'all ever go up there and look at the behind the lot, behind the shop, the stuff that ain't got fixed up yet, yeah, y'all would probably change y'all's opinion about D-Wet's equipment lot. I'm not saying there's some good stuff out there, but I'm just saying buyer beware. Watch it, look it over good.
I think it's overpriced on some of his stuff.
Most everything on the lot's overpriced. Z-Track says goodbye POS. No, it's I know Patriot sprayer was a good sprayer. It done a good job for us. I want this next sprayer we buy for the money we pay for that sprayer. It done an awfully good job for us.
Says so. If you don't mind asking, what was your yield for beans and corn? I think I ended up averaging. My two farms ended up averaging 50, and my beans was like 35, something like that. Dylan's corn was a lot. They still made money, so that's the main thing.
Oh man, I hate telling yields on the internet, but oh well, here it goes. Corn we average 78. My farms average 78 bushels an acre. All this corn around the house done good for the year. It was all of it was up around 100. The big farms over at the lake actually surprised me because that's some tough ground, and they averaged like 80. But what killed us is we had a lot of, I call them goat patches. A lot of fields that's got trees and stuff around them, and some of those, those farms was in the 50s. So we ended up around 78. Soybeans, I had two farms that done awful. I mean, just awful. And when we went over there to run the ripper on them, I found out why they done awful. Excuse me. Robert said there was one spot over there that the 46, he was pulling the ripper, and that 4650 has 500-pound wheel weights, and the back tires are plumb full of fluid, the center tires, and he said it stopped the 4650 in its tracks. So that ground was hard and compacted. Most all the farms that we've been working for a long time did good for the year. A lot of those newer farms we picked up, not so much. But we probably averaged 45 on soybeans if we could have thrown those two bad farms out. But I mean, I done a good job. What helped me this year is I done a really good job of marketing my soybeans. Cheapest, I had like 2 loads of beans I spotted at $12.85, but everything else was, and I had a contract I had to roll from last year, but it wasn't very many of them. But Majority of everything I sold, about the cheapest thing I sold was $14 a bushel, and about the best I sold was $15 a bushel. So I done a good job marketing my crop this year, and that really helped. We got Taylor Bryant with us. I'm glad you're with us, man. I hadn't had a chance to holler back at you yet. I saw your message, though.
Mega 600 series said work. I love mine and no wobble box. Yeah, I've heard what I've read about the 600s. They've done a lot of updating on them. Dad has said that on his. Oh, that's Bubba. I really like how you can set the header with it. Or
Has he got a F series on his Bubba, like a 925 F on like a 2000 something model header?
are you gonna do about the same acres of corn? So, what we've roughly figured so far, it's gonna be about the same amount of corn. I think maybe just a few. Some people are probably cutting back, but I think we had just the way our rotation is going to be about a few acres more.
Yeah, I'm gonna have 360 acres. I think. I don't know. It's gonna cost a small fortune to put it in. I don't know what do you end up with 27.
Yeah.
So looking at about 375 acres total.
I think one of you, Brantley said, I think one of y'all's best tractor upgrade would be selling one of your 46s and getting a 60 series. Why would we sell one of the 40s? Or just buy 49 or just buy a 60 series? Don't sell them.
Ain't none of them tractors going anywhere. Probably both them 46s was my granddaddy's, and that 4650 was the first tractor I bought outright. So it probably ain't never going nowhere. I done got emotionally attached to it, so it's probably gonna be on this farm a long, long time. So when we do buy another tractor, it'll be outright. I mean, it'd be kind of silly to have 4 tractors on the farm, but in my opinion, tractors are about like trailers. You can't never have too many trailers on a farm, and you can't never have too many tractors on the farm.
We got Arthur from Alberta, Canada. Hey, man. How's it going in Canada?
Pretty cool, eh?
I would say this: go looking at a turbo till. You do not have a horse big enough for sure.
I pulled a 30-foot turbo till with that 4650.
Yeah,
and I got the video to prove it. And it wasn't dry neither. Y'all underestimate my 4650. She's a house.
Well, I've seen a bunch on Big Iron. You should go up there, and I know I've been to a lot of auctions here in Oklahoma that actually selling 25-foot heads. So you found a 25-foot draper? I guess that's what he's saying.
Well, they're probably pretty popular out in Oklahoma and out west. Draper headers didn't get popular here till about 10 years ago. So there's not much of a selection of draper headers in our era that now we've lost a bunch of questions.
I'm sorry.
All right. Matt says, I beat them on corn by 1 bushel to the acre. I guarantee you I didn't beat you on beans, though. High Octane wants us to build a sprayer like we did our planter. We got at least 1,000 views. Well, I done took one just about apart and put back together. Find my old combine and already got a 750-gallon tank to set on it. Don't tempt me with a good time. All right, go for it.
Levi says the farm my grandpa works and I worked for when I was in high school has irrigation and waters his corn and has every kind of tractor from 4455 to a 9520R. I actually like the 4650 or 50 series. I wish we had some irrigation. It would have been nice this year for sure.
Well, it was so hot here that even the irrigated corn did not do that good. I've heard some irrigated yields of about 150, which is what we should be making dry land on a good year. last year was best corn year we ever had, and then this year was worst corn year we've ever had. So, take that from what it's worth. It's not irrigation. Everybody thinks irrigation is a cure-all, but it's not. It's lots of. I got a cousin that's got a lot of irrigation units, and it is lots of hard, strenuous work. You just don't go over there and flip a switch on and water your corn. It's not that easy. It's hard work irrigating.
You should buy a 4960 just so you can rip ground. I've never driven a 4960, but I wish I had.
4960 is pretty awesome. They done a lot of things to the cab that made them a lot better. They got several electronics in the cab, and the post through the center of the cab, they made it a lot slimmer, and they moved that exhaust off to the sides and really crisped them up. Everybody's really intent on us trying to trade tractors this year. It just blows people's minds that we can farm with 2-wheel drive tractors. It's just, they farmed with 2-wheel drive tractors for, I bet more ground was paid for with 2-wheel drive tractors than these new front wheel assist tractors. What piece of equipment would we buy if money was no object? There you go, Robert. I'm interested to hear this one.
If money was no object, that's a tough one. Just one piece or multiple pieces?
Can I take that money I was going to spend on one piece and divide it among others?
I would probably say, I'd say I would try to find us a draper header for that combine. That or I don't know.
I was just gonna say a brand new sprayer would be
nice. An R40.
Which I'm the one that runs the sprayer, so of course I'm gonna say that. He's the one that runs the combine most of the time.
Yeah, just a good bean header. I don't care what it is, as long as it don't.
As long as it's not our 922, we really don't care.
What horsepower is that 4650?
Well, stock of 4650 was 165 horsepower, but we have a 9950 cotton picker engine in it, and 9950 cotton picker engines was 200 horsepower. So as basically our 4650s, I think, putting out more than what a 4850 was, because 4850 was what, 185?
Yeah.
4840 was 180. So that 4650 we got is basically putting out, it's basically probably like a hot 4850 is what it's putting out. We could probably make it a little hotter, but
no,
it gets the job done.
We got Tim from Arkansas. Ask what's up. Not a lot, man. Just hanging out. Let's see. Butterbean wants to know, have we been receiving rain? I know it was dry this year. I mean, they've been calling for rain, but I mean, most week got it rained the 10th, Thursday, and what it rained today. It ain't supposed to.
I just sprinkled just a little old light rain. It's been just about right on this dirt work we've been doing. We can do dirt work a little bit and get one of them little old light rains on it, and it settles it back down, and then I can go back to doing my dirt work. Been just right on this dirt work. We still need some significant rainfall after the first of the year, though, I think, to recharge this subsoil moisture.
I think say they've been calling for big rains, but really ain't got nothing.
I wish it would stay pretty through the end of the year, give us some chance to do some dirt work and, do a few things. But after the first of the year, it does need to start raining some.
David said, as long as the air conditioning works, I would run them 46.
Now that man gets it. He gets it, because a cold air conditioner makes up for a lot of discrepancies.
Yeah, we got to work on one of that planting tractor. It's done got terrible. Alan says we beat him on corn, but you beat me on corn, but my beans were the worst I've ever had. 23 bushel.
I had one farm that made 18 bushels to the acre. It was just in a little old pocket that did not get any rain. When we run that ripper across it this fall, or Robert run the ripper across it, it was hard as a rock. It was the first year we've ever worked it. 50 acres and 3 fields, and all the fields have got big oak trees around them. So, 40 foot all the way around the field, there wasn't no beans. And then it's got a little old neck, little old creek bottom neck that would be some really good ground, about 2 or 3 acres in it, but the freaking deer ate them to the ground. So, I mean, that poor little old farm never had a chance.
Levi says, love what you can do with those tractors. I'm gonna do them the same thing. I buy 4650. I love those older tractors.
I'm awful fond of them myself.
If America had a sound, it would be a 4650 or 4640 starting up. That's the sound of America.
That's right. Bubba says that 4650 don't want any of the 6030. We're gonna have to hook him 2 up and put where Bubba will probably get me with that 6030 is he'll probably stay on the ground. Man, that 4650 start power hopping.
Tell me, Levi wants to know, tell me how I should go about getting started farming. I'm just going to be starting out with 30 acres and try to rent a 80-acre field. Well, sounds like you're on the right track, man. Just keep on keeping on.
Low interest loan.
Yeah.
I go to the FSA office. They got some loans for young and beginning farmers. They've got some loans for young and beginning farmers that interest rate is a lot better than the bank. And interest rate is a lot better than the bank, and it's a lot more paperwork and a lot more aggravating, but it's a good way to get started. Find a farmer that is willing to help you, that has farmed a long time, because they didn't get where they are by being dumb. Ask them questions and, just get advice from somebody who's farmed before. Start slow. Don't get too big for your britches. Because it don't take but one bad year of farming and then that can wind you up. So just remember that, because I know in 2014, I made a heap of money and had a big wad of money in the bank. 2015, I worked double the acres, and at the end of the year, I still owed money. So it took me a long time. It took me about 4 years to crawl out of that hole. And that was being financially responsible. That wasn't just going out and buying new tractors and combines and sprayers. That was just being financially responsible. And one bad year wiped me out and took me about 4 years to dig out of that hole. So I don't want you to make a mistake. It's just part of the game. I mean, there's one thing in making a good investment, and then there's one thing in making a good investment, and there's one thing in just going wild. It don't take but one bad year to wipe you out. We got the Dion Wade Farms with us. What's up, D Wade?
D Wade.
D Wade.
The legendary.
I'm your host, D Wade.
What's up, guys?
But you already know that. All right, guys, we need some questions.
Going on.
It's going on. Yeah, Dion. Well, everybody's got popcorn, but we want to know where the honey buns are at. Ain't nobody got any honey buns. You were supposed to bring the honey buns to the party, and they never showed up. All right, guys, we need some questions, because how much time we got left? Another hour. Wow, I've scheduled way too much time. Dion, did I do a good impersonation of you? Matt wants to know if my weight is up to a good stand. Yes, the first planted wheat we got is, but I really thought it'd have a lot better color to it. Then don't you, Robert?
Well, I thought all that behind the cornstalk looked good, but that while we drilled in behind the beans, and well, it's kind of looking puny there. I don't know what's going on with
Well,
it.
dang, Robert, hell, it stayed 20 degrees on it for a
Why the hell
week.
you ask me
Well,
questions?
I'm just telling you why.
Well, you asked my opinion, and I'm telling you.
Well, I'm just telling you my opinion of why it's yellow.
It's probably the first time y'all seen a Choice Brothers fight.
Well, that ain't a fight. That's just a disagreement. Been raining in Oklahoma. We're good on moisture. It ain't like we're about to burn up, but after the first of the year, we do need it to start raining to recharge this subsoil moisture because, so that we've got moisture to take this next crop into the summer. I know digging with the track hoe, once you scrape, a foot off the top, it's still dry down in there, and that old ground is hard for about 2 or 3 foot. And then you'll finally start hitting some dirt that digs a lot easier.
Brian wants to know what's the weirdest thing we've ever found in your field or that's ever happened to you. Well, the strangest, I've been finding a lot of toys. I found some boys, one of the farms where we ran, a boy left a S680 combine, a toy out there, and he did not get it back. I still got it. It's up there. And then I found a bouncy ball that I still got to give the corn dog.
I'm pretty sure I found a meth lab out in the field one day. It was like a cooler. What was it? A cooler?
You found a gas jug one time.
Oh, that's the best thing I ever found in the field. Found two of them. One of them was a big 6-gallon.
Yeah, one of them big ones.
One of them big 6-gallon gas jugs, and then it had a 5-gallon, and then they was tied together with a piece of rubber hose. My guess is there's a factory down there that had an old Bob truck, and my guess was they went down there to siphon the gas out of that old Bob truck, and the law patrols them factories pretty good, and my guess was the law pulled up and they took off running across my farm and they left the gas jugs. But that's the best thing I've ever found in the field.
James wants to know what's the distance between your furthest fields.
Well, we got one farm in O'Brien County and one south down near to Crockett County. How many miles is that? I'm gonna look it up.
Well, I know in a pickup truck it takes at least 20 minutes to get to one. What crop would you recommend to start with for a person? Slow down, guys. Go back up.
You only got. Matt said his earliest weight is just coming up, but weights are not dying yet. Warren refers to mess up spraying. Well, considering it was just freaking, I was out there with a Carhartt coat on, Matt. It's not the optimum conditions for Roundup. I knew he was gonna blame us if it went wrong.
Mark wants to know what crop would you recommend to start with for a person new to farming? I'm gonna say soybeans. Soybeans are pretty foolproof.
A lot less input.
Yeah, a lot less. They don't cost as much as corn or anything, but I guess if you baby beans, you can get a lot of money into them. But beans are pretty
tough.
Yeah, pretty tough and pretty resilient, I guess you would say. Butterbean wants to know, is the Mississippi River going up or down? I heard it was going up, but I think it's going to come back down.
Well, they said it was going to. I think it was supposed to crest this week. It's been up enough. I've been able to load some barges and stuff. But I think it's supposed to drop right back out after this week.
Bubba said, what's going to be 2 corn varieties for 2023? Well, probably going to stick with the good old cropland. It ain't let us down yet. and probably stick with our LG 62C35. So
OLG 62C35 has been a sure enough good one for us.
yeah, so it's been up there at the top. Let's see. Dion wants to know what's a good soybean variety 2023 y'all going with. I guess we're gonna stick with some Steins.
Well, Dayon's on the extend program, so he probably
probably
won't be interested in anything we got.
Well, I'd say them pioneers we had was them. What was
48 860s.
Right? They had some good beans.
Cropland 4825s is a good one, and they would probably be probably price on them would be down now.
Yeah, man, that's the one you need to ask about them extend beans.
If you want to enlist bean, the Stein 46 EB20s is my top pick on enlist beans.
Where have you been doing dirt work on the last few days? On Curry Road?
Yeah,
we have been. Guy I used to work for. Been doing some dirt work on his farm, fixing some mortar hose, and started working on the fence row with the track hoe when I actually got to run it, and I thought I was over halfway done with it, but ended up I was only a third of the way. Where do you want to stay in 10 years? Making plans for more farms? Sorry for my bad English. I'm from the Netherlands. Hey guy, hey man, what's going on? Work the 10-year plan. I would say is try to find some ground closer to home. That way we ain't got to travel so far. I'd like to have some ground.
Well, that's a good segue into this. The guy that asked what the distance was from our furthest farms, our first is 26 miles from our farm farthest north to our farm farthest south. 26 miles, 32 minutes in a pickup.
Yeah, so we'd like to find some farms closer to home and maybe give up some of the goat patches, try to find some nice big open farms because you lose the goat patches get you started, but I mean you kind of lose a lot of time with them just because you got to work around tree lines and stuff like that. But just that and get some stuff paid for.
Most everything's paid for now, which we fix and buy a sprayer, and that's kind of why we need a sprayer. We got to have a sprayer, but I'm just not looking forward to. I about got everything on the farm paid for, and I ain't looking forward to starting paying for stuff again.
Brian says he found pot growing in one of his fields.
There's been a couple of days if I'd found it, I'd have smoked it. Dion says river's up enough to load barges, but it's still low. Dion says he's taking notes. I'm not sure which one they'd be taking notes from.
He wants to know if the pan is still for sale.
Yeah, dirt pan's still for sale. I figured I'd have trouble selling my sprayer, but I had a list of people wanting to come look at my sprayer, and ain't one person messaged me wanting to. Well, I take that back. One person has messaged me about my dirt pan. Guess everybody's like us, kind of looking. There's a ton of dolly pans and 6-yard pans. I guess everybody's like us is trying to move up to us. So I would like to have like the newer Reynolds pans, but like a 8-yard Reynolds pan. Greg said he choked on this. I've never smoked it. I don't know what it's like. Kind of like Clinton. I didn't inhale.
Well, Levi want to know what sprayer you got, Matt.
Matt's got an R4038.
Pretty bad dude.
Yeah, it'll shag butt down the road. See,
he says he's got a 4430. I was told he would pull it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it'll pull that pan. It'll be low, but it'll pull it. Yeah, I saw that sprayer you was looking at, Dayon, up there at Dixon's. Pretty nice looking old sprayer. Got several hours on it though. But
For some reason, that's the sprayer I want. I want to.
yeah, Robert really wants a 4720.
I don't know why though, but
No, they look cool. I mean, they good sprayers.
They got the classic look of the 4710, but the 4730 hood, I guess, is.
It's I don't know. I've been looking at 4710s, but what they're asking for 4710s, you might as well just skip them and go up for a 30. And to be honest with you, there ain't that much more money difference between a 30 and a one of the first R series sprayers. It's really not that much money difference. I don't know what we're gonna do. I hope something comes along. If we run across a low wired Case IH sprayer, a 3230, only had 2,600 hours on it, but we're trying to get back to a deer on sprayers. But if the right deal come along, I ain't gonna say we wouldn't.
Yeah. Mark wants to know, do y'all have the problem with the armadillo hose like Matt Griggs does? I have never seen an armadillo until we cut them beans on my farm, and I seen two in the same night. And then the other day I was ripping and I saw two.
So Matt's just bad about hitting them. for knock on wood for the most part, I always miss them, but every now and then you hit one and it's not fun.
Kelly says we need to get us a 4730. I agree. I agree with that.
Yep. How's them fingers doing?
Yeah, pretty much everybody around here got a 40, or they had a 4730, and they ran them for a long time.
And Master Johnny still got 4730. He's running.
And Mike and them got one. They good sprayers.
Their horses too. Only thing I don't like about like a 4710, 4720, 4730 is John Deere really heavy built those sprayers, but the boom is light on them in my opinion. And what I don't like about them is you hit a hole and they just want to do this right here. Just they'll slap the ground, and that's what I can't stand. That's the only thing I don't like about the 30 series is why they put a pivot in the middle of that boom where it would do this crap. I do not know. That was just a stupid design. That old Patriot. Now you might get some boom whip like this, but when you cross the ditch, it never did want to slap the ground. That's my fuss with the 10, 20, and 30 series deers.
Matt says he knew a guy that ran a deer up in a corn head.
I saw that on, I ain't sure it's the same one, but I saw something similar to that on Facebook or something.
I had a cousin get a baby deer one time with a bean head and wheat.
Charles he's cutting weight, and our old boss, he cut the ears off a baby deer.
Mm-hmm.
I think the deer was going to be fine, but the sickle, it wasn't going to be able to hear nothing. Mm-hmm. Cut its ears plumb off.
Wants to know how hard it is to change the axles out. We want to put longer ones on for duals. Getting the final drives and all off ain't that hard, but I think the thing we got into or read in our tech manual is you got to shim them axles, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you can get you an axle with Sykeston, but what it might be just as easy to get that whole assembly with longer axles in it and just unbolt yours and bolt the new one up there. And you can keep your own final drives and change them axles out. Just know that you've got to preload that axle, and we're actually, I think we may try to rebuild our other axle housing because it's the same one as on our 4640s and use it as a spare, have one on the shelf.
Bubba enjoys the simple things in life. He was just excited to get auto steer on his.
He was fussing at it when he first put it on
No.
there, and they sent him that bad box.
Yeah. Let's see. What was the verdict on the narrow versus wide row beans over here near Lehman?
Oh, that's Tommy. Basically identical in yield. There wasn't hardly any difference at all. They both done about the same. And a lot of people talk about how the weed control is better in narrow rows. Me and Robert have never seen that. I don't know where they come up with that argument. In our experience, if you're going to have narrow row beans, you need to get out there and spray them early before the beans canopy. Because in our experience, if you don't get out there and spray them before the beans canopy, you won't get your chemical down there on the weed. When the beans canopy, it covers the weeds up, and you spray, no chemical gets on the beans, and then 2 weeks later, here comes the weeds popping through the canopy. Or on 30-inch rows, you're getting the chemical down there on the ground to. And this year was terrible for late season grasses and stuff like that because it was so dry. And then when it started raining in August, it just woke all them weeds back up, and here they came. So where they come up with that argument for weed control better and narrow space and beans, I do not know.
Mm-hmm. Or you can read something now.
Are you tired of reading?
No.
Matt said he put some coilovers on his old sprayer to minimize the boom sway. That's a good idea. Brian said he had experience with some deer, and Tommy said getting on the bubble, but said pretty sure that the bad back is from the hopper bottom. Yeah, Bubba, they was all fussing about your hopper bottom up there at Humboldt the other day. They said you tried to blame the broken shear bolt on them, but they said your hopper was too hard to open. Trying to be a forklift. 4,500 is what I got my dirt pan priced at. Matt wants to know if we've seen sickle pod getting worse the last few years. No, we hadn't had any trouble with sickle pod, but kookaburrs is becoming the new thorn in our side, especially where we have heavy deer pressure. Them dang, I don't know if them kookaburrs get in them deer's fur and then they travel and drop them, or if they come in there and mow the beans down, and then you ain't got no beans to shade the kookaburrs out. But kookaburrs are becoming a new thorn in our side.
I would say grasses.
Yeah, grass is becoming more of an issue now than. I mean, we still have some pigweed, but nothing like we was experiencing 5 years ago. I think we've kind of got them knocked back a little bit. Bubba said his hopper bottom is only 37 years old. Surely it ain't that old. Dion said he thinks he finally got his pigweeds under control. Well, that's good, man. He got fighting some grass. So, oh wow, y'all got quiet all of a sudden. Think a story to tell them, Robert. Anything interesting?
Oh, a lot's been going on. Like I said, we started the Christmas season yesterday. We got the big light. Hey, Matt, have y'all started on your big light display yet? So yeah, we need to see videos of that. Y'all putting the lights on the picker and all, or whatever y'all gonna do. We need to see a light display update. But no, we put a bunch of lights up yesterday and got the tree up today. So Christmas season is And tonight we're gonna start off our Christmas season like we always do, watching Christmas Vacation. So after we get done with the video here, we're gonna my family we gonna watch Christmas Vacation. Old David said he's gonna go out and see if Tennessee can beat Vanderbilt. I sure hope so.
I don't know what happened to our team. We sure ain't the same team that beat Alabama.
No, that was a big yeah. What happened on South Carolina? I don't know. Dang, what happened to old Hook?
We got cocky.
Yeah.
We got too cocky. I tell you what happened. We got too cocky, and then we went out there and got our butts handed to us, and now we've lost our confidence. That's my opinion.
Everybody wanted us number one, and we became number one.
That was the worst thing that ever happened, was them put us number one.
Yep. Oh, Octane said, what's your must-have in the tractor toolbox? Zip ties, bungee straps, or tie wire? Probably zip ties.
Well, we really don't even have a toolbox on any of the tractors out because we
always got the truck with us.
Hammer.
Yeah.
Hammer. You can fix anything with hammer.
Robert H says, any grain bins going up this year? Nah, not this year. Matt says he can't start Monday. I need to come out and help. I would, Matt, but I'm gonna be out for a while.
And I'm gonna be running solo, so
yeah. Dion wants to know, did y'all hear me honk at y'all the other day when I passed by? No, I don't know, but I see you pass by quite a bit.
Yeah, I see him pass all the time. I didn't hear him honk though.
Matt says he spent all day, finished watching. Y'all still watching on that picker?
Y'all been cleaning on that thing for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
When you gonna get your new truck, Dion? I'm waiting for a big Peterbilt with twin 8-inch stacks and a visor halfway down the windshield, some Alcoa rims on it, and a big black Tempty trailer about 42 foot long with tall sides on it and chicken lights all the way down the side of it. That's what we're waiting to see.
Tommy said he had quite a few cookburrs dumped at Humboldt. Some of them had a few soybeans in them. Some of them were probably ours.
No, we didn't take them down. Hey, Tommy, we took ours to Dyer, so you didn't have to deal with them, man. We took them some green pods too, so thankfully by the end of the season all that cleared up. Hot Springs, Arkansas. That's where we went on vacation this year. Was it hot? Yeah.
You went.
Yeah. You didn't go. We took the camper up there and stayed at the KOA up above. What's that? Magic Springs, that theme park. We went to that theme park a couple years ago and it was pretty good. We went back this time and it sucked. Out of 4 roller coasters, 3 was closed. That place, that was a ripoff. We should have went up there and demanded our money back.
Alan said, talking about wheat, I drilled some wheat today for a neighbor. What's the latest you've ever planted? Well, there was a guy that sold some. When did we talk to Sam?
Well, there's still people sowing wheat around here. They're still. Yeah. I talked to them like over at Brazil. Well, Nicole's husband said they just drilled some last week. There's still a lot of wheat going in the ground around here. Normally, everybody says kind of, Thanksgiving. My opinion on wheat is you'll probably be all right if it's dry when you drill it. But if it's wet and late, it don't work. Me and Robert done that one year, and we swore we'd never do it again.
Dion wants to know, when is the next farm show? I don't know if we'll go to Louisville this year or not, but it's always a week of February, week of Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the gin show in Memphis.
I don't know. Me and Robert may try to go as bachelors this year because our buddy got married.
He's having a baby in March.
And he's having a baby. Hey, Jerry.
Jerry's probably
going to have to stay home.
Yeah.
And Walt's going to be at school this year. So it may just be me and Bob. And we might
see if the big cake can go.
And we may go hit some of the high spots up there. We might make it to the tractor show. But yeah, I'd say I kind of got a rule with myself on weight to try to be done around Halloween. If I could pick any date to drill wheat, it'd be the 15th of October. That's my favorite date to drill wheat. Oh,
Dion said he gonna try to go this time. We'll be looking for you, Dion.
it won't ever be the same once you go up there, man. Well, they got quiet on us again. Well, we got 82 of y'all in here, and I really appreciate each and every one of you being here. We're about 30 minutes away from our live, 33 minutes away from our live video premiere of the End of Harvest. It's, it's the average Joyce Brothers Farms video, but, it's the last one of the season, so we all got to have us a get-together. James Kelly says we're one of the best YouTubes he watches. Poor guy. Surely there's some better channels than us. But no, we appreciate that. What's Dion's weight look like, Bubba? We're going to get to behind the scenes. Bubba's going to let us know what Dion's weight looks like. Does it look pretty good? Yeah, James says we're pretty informative. I wouldn't really classify our channel as educational. I guess we're geared more toward entertainment. But I do try to PBR. I've never been to the PBR, so we're gonna have to try it. But I try to be informative, but we're geared a little more toward entertainment. There's a lot of serious farm channels out there, and they do a good job of spreading information. So I just like to show what a small farm is like, because it seems like the majority. There's a lot of small YouTube farm channels, but it seems like the majority of YouTube farm channels is farm operations running multiple brand new machines, and I understand that's what everybody likes to watch. They like to see the big, new, and shiny. But there's also people like me that like to see the old stuff run. I'm all about the classics, man. Brian says we're real. That's what. Well, we just show it. We just show. Yeah, we show everything. A lot of times I don't show my bad temper. Sometimes I really lose my cool. We don't show that, but the person I am right here talking to y'all now, and the person y'all see on TV is the same person you're gonna meet out there on the street. And I've had people come up to me at auctions and stuff and talk to me, and it's cool meeting everybody. I met a lot of people at Mile and No-Till Field Day today. Matter of fact, there's a young man I met at Mile and No-Till Farm Day. Y'all need to go and told him I'd plug his channel, and y'all need to go check it out. I would say he's probably about 12 years old, guessing, and his name is Oliver, and the name of his channel is, I believe, is Oliver's Farming and Outdoor Channel. He helps his dad, and he's a good young man, and I met them at the Mile and No-Till Field Day, and he wants to do a YouTube channel. He said he has a little trouble. He don't have good internet where he's at, and he's working on his camera stuff. But I'd like y'all to go support him out and help him, because we need young people in agriculture. There just ain't many young people that want to farm anymore. And I hope y'all go over to his channel, and I'm looking it up here, and say an encouraging word to him, and let him know that, yes, Oliver Farming and Outdoor Videos. Yeah, go check him out. He's He's a good young man. Talk to him and leave him a comment and let him know I sent you.
Mark says Matt Griggs wants to get a picker baler. Do you think he should? Would you get into cotton so you can compete for the highest cotton yield? Yeah, I think Matt should get a baler picker.
I told him 2 years ago we needed one.
Yeah, I was really hoping we get done in time. So I ain't never rode a cotton picker, so I was wanting to ride with Matt. But yeah, I think he should get one. But no, I'm gonna leave the cotton growing to him. Listen, all right.
And no, I do not want no cotton. I have no desire to have cotton. I do not like to spray that much, so I do not want no cotton.
We're gonna leave that to Matt and Bubba.
Yeah. Some of Dylan's fixes are informative and entertaining. To the man, that was the time that them was the old days. I was struggling back in, man. I was just you got to admit I come a long way. How do you like that new jet hopper bottom that the doors actually open fairly easy compared to my old trailer? I still got my old trailer, but y'all, I was nice to y'all and pulled the new jet. So
well, you got to tell him the story on what he's talking about.
I had a gray international truck, semi truck, International Eagle. I mean, it was a nice old truck, but we never could get the air to work in it. So I went and bought one of these portable air conditioners, like you put in an office or a room or something, and stuck it in the middle between the driver's and the passenger seat, and stuck it in there. And then I put a generator back there on the rack behind the cab and plugged that portable air conditioner in. And I would run that generator and that portable air conditioner for air conditioning. So that's what he's talking about. I done some redneck crap back in the day, but I mean back in I was trying to get started and money was tight. Things was tough back in. I got really good memories back in. It seemed like farming was a lot more fun back in, but it was a lot more enjoyable back in. But it was also very tough back in them days.
Let's see. Okay. Cotton Farmer says, howdy, boys.
Hello, Cotton Farmer. We was just talking about cotton and whether or not Matt Gregg should buy a baler picker or not. The consensus is yes. Looking to buy my custom harvesters 9400. Do y'all feel like yes? The 9000 series combines are very dependable machines.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say the 9400 are the best or good combines. But I will say this: if you're going to buy a 94, just go ahead and buy a 95.
Yeah,
as much as I love our 9400, I wish we'd have just went ahead and got a 9500 because just like now, I feel when we're looking for a bean header, it's hard to find headers to fit on that combine because of the size. See, if we had a 9500 or a 96, I feel like we could go ahead and get like a 30-foot draper and put on it.
Yeah.
But
the only thing I would worry about on a 30-foot draper on a 9500 would be spreading the straw. That's the only thing I'd worry about.
But as far as a 9400, as long as you got the big engine in it, the big 6.8, you ought to be, especially them later models, you'd be all right. I know a guy, he's got a 9400, but it's only got the small engine, the 359s.
Yeah.
And he said we pulled up with that 6-row header, and he was just blown away that we was out there selling 200 bushel corn at 4 mile an hour because he's got a 9400 and he was pushing a 4-row, and I think he said he was going 2 mile an hour. So yeah, but as long as they got the big engines on them.
Yeah, do not buy an 89 or 90 model. Make sure you got a 91 and up model with a 6.8 liter engine.
Yeah, but other than that, good spurs. Good combines.
And the later 9500s, they had power bulge on them, didn't they? To help you in tough spots. I'd try to find probably the pinnacle of 9000 series combines would be the 97 model 50th anniversaries. They had a lot more options than the original maximizers.
Yeah. But Matt says when we get that R series, we're going to want to spray a whole lot more.
No. Well, I'd probably enjoy it a lot more, but
yeah.
I hate spraying.
Bubba says he's no cotton for him.
Every time I spray, you know what I see coming out of them tips?
Money.
It's just money sprinkling out of them tips every time I spray. And it's like it never ends. Used to, what was it? It felt like you sprayed 3 months out of the year. And now we start in February spraying. And yeah, we start in February this year and spray plumb up to November.
Yeah. Says James said, had my first year with a 9600 from a 7720, and man, it's a dream. 9000, that's a great combine. Oh yeah, I remember when. Yeah, I'll take one. Said yeah. Going from that 94, going from a 6620 to a 9400, it was a big jump to me. It was not just the comfort of it,
It's amazing how your opinion of things change. We ran that 4400, and when I started, I was just tickled to death to be up there running my granddaddy's old 4400. Boy, I was getting a combine something. Then we picked up a few more acres. I went and bought my 6620, and I thought I was driving a Cadillac, man. Big combine, 18-foot header. Always up there walking the dog.
Power swing auger.
Yeah, you reach over and hit the lever, and then you reach down there and go, and then turn it, and then you had that big old lever. You went up there and turned the separator on. You reach
on hydrostat.
You reached over and pulled that little knob out to turn the header on. It's like you're smoking a cigarette. You just hydrostat.
And then we went to that 9400, and it was just
died and went to heaven. But we've run that longer than any combine we've owned.
Yeah, but I remember when them came out as a little kid, and
we thought they were space age combines.
I went over, me and my granddaddy went over to a good friend of his, and I remember he had a brand new 9600, and I was probably 5 or 6 at the time, and I remember climbing up there, and it was huge compared to that 4400. The only reason I remember it was a 9600 was because you had the air conditioner controls over here. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see them combines new.
Farley, y'all heard us talk about him before. He's an old school John Deere mechanic, and if it's either him or Elliot that works on our equipment up there at Tennessee Tractor when we rarely do take something up there or have a service call. But Farley come out there and worked on my 6620 one time. He's up there. He smokes, and Farley's just awesome. He's up there smoking a cigarette, and he said, boy, it's good looking old 6620. I did. I had the nicest 6620 around. Everybody talks about how clean that old 6620 was. He said, mighty fine machines these was. And I said, well, what about these new combines? You think they're going to be running this long? He said, well, that's what they said about the 9000 series combines when they come out with all them electronics. He said, but they still running today. So, it's people find a way to work on stuff. I'm sure there'll still be S series running 40 years down the road. People just figure out how to work on. Somebody will figure out how to work on that electronics, because there's a lot of smart people out there in the world. But Farley, they won't ever make enough Farley. He's the best mechanic I know.
Brian says we wouldn't have a problem with a 9500 and a 30-foot head spreading straw.
I think he's speaking from experience.
Yes, yeah. Jeremy wants to know, are you going to have any hogs for sale?
It's probably going to be sometime late next year if I do, because I only have 7 right now, and they're yay big, and they're a lot of them are spoke for, so it's gonna be later in the year.
Octane wants to know what winter projects do we have planned. Several. I know the drill. It's gotta get grown through. Need new pins, main pin and bushings, and several springs, adjustment springs. Y'all saw me cut one off in the last video. So yeah.
And need them. I ain't decided if we're gonna put the Needham V8 wheels on there or not. I do know we're gonna put them star-shaped closing wheels on there, because I think that was a lot of our issues with soybean emergence last year was them cast iron wheels packing them beans in there in wet soils.
And then figuring out what's going on with the air conditioner on the planting tractor. And since we're gonna keep the combine, got several projects on it.
Major rebuild.
Yeah.
Pulling the feeder house off, changing. If we buy the sprayer I really want to buy, we're going to be running the combine another 4 to 5 years. So, but if I buy the sprayer I want to buy, we're probably not going to be. We'll probably be looking at running that sprayer for at least 10 years. So, I'm thinking about going on and biting the bullet and buying something pretty nice that will last us a long time, instead of like I done last time on the Patriot, as buying something we're gonna have to upgrade 5-6 years down the road. That's kind of my thinking. But back to the 9400, it needs top feeder house shaft and sprockets, new concave, and new rasp bars. Hadn't decided whether or not we're going to replace the shoe augers or not. I know it definitely needs shoe augers, bearings, and gears and drives. And
I think just a bunch of Traco farm projects.
Yeah, I could hire somebody to stay on that Traco every day, y'all, for a year, I think, and never get done with it.
Brandon said he just upgraded to a 1680. There's some pretty good old combines.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't nothing wrong with old guy I used to work for in high school. He ran a 1688, and it was, man, that at the time, that was a cool combine, because he had that 1688, was pushing a 12-row header on it. He made that header because at the time they wasn't even making 12 rows, and had front duals on it. Was a sharp combine. Was a really sharp combine. He run that combine a long time. Had like 3,800 hours on it when he got rid of it. And that combine was going over lots of crop too. But yeah, I always thought 1688 was a cool looking combine. We grew up riding in. Our cousin had 2188. Grew up riding in it. It was a cool old combine. I've drove 2388s. Recently drove a 7120.
There's one guy said he had a 96. David, I think it was, said he had a 9650. Guy we used to work for had a 9650. It was a rotor combine, but it was a nice combine.
When they bought it, it sure was. Had like, I think it was like 07. Combine had 1,400 hours on it, and he bought it and a 30-foot header for $140,000. Could you buy a 3-year-old combine now with 1,400 hours on it? No. and a header?
Yeah.
Probably be looking at what, 340,000, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Probably. We missed one. It says, I'm hoping to plant my first crop in 2023. Any good advice for someone just getting into farming?
Just keep your head about you.
Just be financially smart or conscious.
Yes, watch your money. Watch every dime.
Greg says we need to go with Needham.
Yeah, we got several Needham components on that. We put the boot fix on there. It seemed like put new seed tubes.
Some Needham tubes on it, and the Needham blades.
Yes, them sun guns are sharp, dude. You better not make a mislick or you'll be missing a finger. Them suckers are sharp.
They'll turn 200 bushel corn stalks into confetti.
Yes, them daggum things. It looks like you put a turbo tail over corn stalks.
If you trade combines, are you going to seriously look at a gleaner?
No.
We seen them at the farm show, and they look like some bad dudes, but just ain't many dealerships around. There's one dealership I know of around.
Dealer support would keep us from that. It's an hour and a half up there to that dealership. So
Jonathan says a S680 will eat 40-foot head.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Oh, Tada's with us. I like watching his channel. Takes them back to good old days with that 66.
I know.
66.
He's got more technology, and I think his technology and his older stuff rivals the amount of technology we have in our stuff. Yeah. I don't know why, but I get the biggest kick out of that. I love people taking old equipment and making it function in the modern day. And I love seeing new technology and old equipment. I don't know why. I get the biggest kick out of that. I love to see people working with what they have and making it work. I just love to see that.
Alan says he thinks he'll stay with his 9400. It sure beats what he had. Well, what he have before?
He's the one I was telling you about that's pushing the 4420 over all them makers. He's the one that called me that day. You was drilling weight over and his lights wasn't working.
Okay.
Did you get your lights working, man? Mark asked, do you have trouble with inconsiderate drivers like Matt Griggs does with moving equipment?
It just depends on the day.
Yeah. A lot of time, most time, everybody around us is very considerate, but we don't live as close. Matt lives, I never realized it, but we was over there helping. Maybe I won't spoil too much, but we was over there helping Matt. And we was driving, and it was just open farmland, But you'll just make cars just going 70 miles an hour down the old country road, just scare that living hell out of you. And then next thing I know, the road dead ends, and we're at a freaking subdivision, and we're in Jackson. But no, we don't. Most everybody's pretty considerate around here. We'll have the one dumb A every now and then that gives us and it's just certain times of day that's worse than others. When was we coming home and had all that traffic from Frog Jump? What time of day was that?
It was on up in the morning. Best time to move equipment is first thing, like I don't want this to sound bad, like Sunday, like during church times, like 9 to 12, because you'll meet nobody.
Me and Mr. Harold was talking about that yesterday.
He said everybody's at church, but yeah, that's the best time to move farm equipment because everybody's at church. But
we try to go to church.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not heathens, but
no, it's very rarely if we work on a Sunday. But yeah.
Well, all right, let's get your questions in, guys, because we got about 5 minutes, and I'm not going to do like last year. Last year, my computer didn't redirect like it was supposed to, and I missed like 5 minutes of the first part of the. I missed like 5 minutes of the first part of the premiere, so I don't want to do that. But we do got 5 minutes to ask some more questions, and I will give a plug. I don't know how many know this. I'm sure most of you in here know this, but in 9 minutes, we're going to have a live video premiere of our End of Harvest video. And what that is we all sit down and watch the video together, and y'all can chat one-on-one with me while the video goes on. And it's just kind of a tradition we've started. So we hope each and every one of you, all 92 of you, join us. And if you don't mind, we're trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Give us an old subscribe. Give us an old thumbs up. And that lets YouTube know that you like what we do. and it shows us to more people, and it helps our channel out for more people to see us.
James says he was rear-ended in his 7720 last fall. Too many people looking at their phones and don't care. Well, tell him about the time Charles ran the drills in the ditch.
Yeah, I had my old boss. He was moving down the road, and the car was looking at their phone, and he was in a curve, and they crowded him in the curve, and it was a steep bank, and he had a set of 750 drills. They was 15. It was a 30-foot drill, but it's two 15s together on one tongue, and they swung around behind each other and trailed, and that car come in on them and crowded them, and them drills slid off in the ditch. And he had a 8120, pretty properly equipped tractor, deals, front wheel assist, good rack of weights on the front, and them drills was full of weight. He couldn't get it pulled out the ditch because they kept sliding down the ditch. And I had to go, he had an 8410. So there we was in the middle of the road in a curve with people, and it's a little cutoff road between the main road and the 4-lane. Everybody wants to cut down it because they think it's so much faster. And every time I go down 77 highway, I beat them every time. But they think if they run down that little 2-lane country cutoff road 70 miles an hour, they're going to get there faster than if they just kept driving 55 down the regular road. But, I went on a rant there, but I had to hook the 8410 to the drills and pull them up on the road as he pulled up on the road to get those drills. Had to do that to get them drills up out of that ditch.
Well, Cotton Farmer, he's got a question. If he plants some beans next year, 7.5 or 15, and why?
We're going back to planting our beans on 7.5. I just feel like a yield is slightly better. The drill just works better on 7.5. I like how quickly they cover the ground. They cut better. I just like drilled beans. 15's done all right, but I really wasn't that impressed.
And say quick hello to the Lampley brothers for joining us.
Thank you.
And then Matt's got a question. Are we going to make a video on the Walker, or does he need to get Alex and Jesse?
I say I'm going to do that you might have to get Alex and Jesse to do it, because I say I'm going to do it every year and it never happens. I'm terrible about getting to doing stuff in the field and just put off YouTube video ideas. I'm terrible about that.
But we'll try to get one maybe during the week.
Lampley brothers retracted their message. What do you say that was going to make me mad, man? Fun to watch. Big fan from South Mississippi. All Lampley brothers going to try to beat us to it. Well, they're going to have to. I'm not sure they're going to be as in depth as us as we go into one this winter, Robert. No. But what time is it?
6:25.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end the live stream. It's supposed to automatically redirect you here. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stay here with you. And I'm going to get over here on the Dylan Joyce Farms YouTube page. And I'm going to get on the Premiere tab. And that way, I'm right here. It premieres in 3 minutes. Got the trailer playing. There we go. Jamie says, let's do another live stream around the first of the year. We plan on doing that. That's also kind of become a tradition. Tell them to get it going on the big TV in there. But I plan, normally we, around the
first of the year.
Yeah, around first of the year, we do a video looking back on the year. From January to December, we take the highlights of the year and put them all in a video set to music, and we'll do a live stream before it and do a live stream before it and do a live video premiere like we're doing here. Lampley said that the kids are helping type. That's good. I like to get the kids involved. Corn Dog's not here with us tonight, but he is going to be in a video. Everybody loves Corn Dog. Y'all can hear him. I got to hear him count all the way to 100 in the combine one day, so that's was just riveting. Butterbean Farmer says he needs another beer. Well, now's the time to get it before the live video premiere starts. Want to make sure we don't miss anybody. But 3 minutes to the premiere. Who's excited? I'm excited. Hey, I've done watched it like 17 times, but did anybody watch the trailer for it over on the premiere page? That's a new feature. That's a new feature YouTube added where you can put a trailer of the video in there. And I made that late last night, so it's not very good, but I did make a trailer of it. Just trying that out. I don't know what that means, but don't want to be up in here throwing gang signs. But Luke Thurman, man, it's been a while since I've heard from you. I appreciate you being in here tonight. Says we do a great job telling about farm life. Well, that's what our channel's all about, and I'm glad you enjoy it. Really glad you do. So let's see, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I like where on the end of the trailer there I made the season finale. It's like high class Hollywood stuff, 1 minute. Should we do a countdown? Is it redirecting? No, that's just sorry about the lighting, guys. We're really going to improve the lighting situation next year. We're really going to improve the lighting situation next year. We're going to really up our game. We always try to up our game every year. I hope the video quality's been better this year. We're going to have to work on sound quality. If I wear my mic, it does great. We're going to have to get off our pocketbooks and invest in some wireless mics. But is the video started? Yeah, we've had that same intro music for 2 years now, and every time I hear it, I still get pumped up about it.
It says it's 6:30.
All right. See y'all at the live video premiere. Thank you for joining us.
Sorry to jump off.